Turned up. Let's go.
What is up, you guys? I'm Charmx. Today I'm going to be reacting to The Grinning Man, a terrifying bedtime horror story by Top 5s. Now, I know Halloween is now over, but I think, you know, I've been doing a lot of meme videos recently, or reacting to a lot of meme videos, and I think I need to switch it up. So we're going to do something spooky today. Hopefully this is going to be really spooky. The thumbnail for this video is absolutely terrifying, so this should be good. But anyway, with that being said, the original link's in the video. Oh, I'm tired. The original link's in the description. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Top 5s. And without any further ado, let's begin.
Our parents tell us that there are no such thing as monsters. It calms us down when we are restless children and
I mean, they might tell you that, but as soon as you look at the news, you know they're wrong.
cannot get to sleep. After they have made all of those checks under the bed and in the closet, we accept that it is the truth. But every year, all over the world, people report that they have seen something scary, something that has terrified them, something that cannot be explained.
Now, is this real? Like, is this based off of truth, or is it actually just a story? Because I kind of want to know, because if it is based off of truth, it's going to make this a lot more scary, but I don't know if it is, or if it's just a story.
Who is he? What is he? He is said to be unnaturally tall, up to about 7 feet, with a powerful, muscular body. He has no hair, no eyebrows or eyelashes, and wears a one-piece suit that is made from some sort of reflective material.
This is the thumbnail right here. This is creepy, my goodness.
His lifeless, black bead-like eyes are set wide apart on either side of his slit-like nose.
Oh my
and he
goodness.
always seems to appear in the dead of night to terrorize his victims. But most disturbingly of all is his inhumanely wide grin. It's as though his face...
That's creepy. I hope my smile kind of looked like it right there. I don't know. Let's see if I can duplicate it better. I wonder how close that looked. I won't know until I'm editing. But that is creepy. I do not like looking at that.
has been sliced open as the grin stretches from ear to ear.
Joker.
In his enormous teeth. But it's not a smile of openness or friendship, but rather an expression of evil intent, and always accompanied by an all-consuming feeling of absolute terror and dread. There have been many reports of the Grinning Man appearing over the years, and every one of the witnesses has spoken of how disturbing these meetings were.
Yo, I think meeting anyone in general is horrifying, to be honest.
And how the images of the Grinning Man has haunted their dreams ever since. The following are just 4 accounts from the many hundreds that have been told of encounters with the Grinning Man over the years.
Okay, I'm gonna look this up. Just wait a second. I want to find out if this is a horror story or if it's real, like based off of some kind of truth.
Martin Munov and James Yanshitis were 2 teenage boys who had just enjoyed an evening at the cinema.
I don't know how you could possibly enjoy sitting in seats that look like that.
It was 9:45 p.m. on October the 11th, 1966. They lived in Elizabeth, New Jersey, and they were sauntering along 4th Street, talking about the movie that they had just seen. They turned onto another road so they could walk beneath the New Jersey Turnpike to make their way home. Suddenly the atmosphere changed and they both felt uneasy. It was dark under the bridge, and with the traffic thundering overhead, it felt oppressive and sinister. Nevertheless, they both pushed on walking as quickly as they could.
That looks like a creepy place to walk just in general. Just look at that. That looks like you're gonna get friggin' shanked.
To get out from beneath the bridge, and were relieved when they finally did. Their route was now linked by a chain-linked fence with a steep slope on the other side. Just as the boys emerged from beneath the turnpike, James noticed that there was a figure of a man standing in the bushes on the other side of the fence. James nudged Martin. "Who's that?" he asked his friend. Martin turned to look. The man was incredibly tall and well built.
Very creepy.
But seemed to be wearing a reflective suit. He didn't see the boys at first, and instead he stared, transfixed on the house across the street. After a few seconds, he turned to look at the boys. They were terrified to see his horrific, grinning face. Panicked, they both ran away as fast
That's creepy.
them, and the grinning man never moved. He just stood there, behind the fence, grinning and watching.
Not really that scary then if he isn't gonna chase you, but then again if he knows where you live, there is no need to chase.
On the same night, just 40 miles north of Elizabeth, a UFO encounter was reported. Just 3 weeks later, and only 500
This is creepy, man. I don't know why did I decide to react to this. This is why I stick with memes. Why I stick with memes. They're creepy like this. Well, some of them can be a little bit weird, but not like this.
miles away, Woodrow Darrenberger, a sewing machine salesman, was driving home along Interstate 77. A strange-looking vehicle appeared out of nowhere and rushed straight at Woodrow. He slammed on his brakes to avoid hitting the vehicle head-on.
Is that a flying lava lamp?
In the glow of his own headlights, he had a clear view of the strange craft. A hatch opened in the side of the vehicle, and a tall figure emerged. Woodrow described the figure as dark-skinned and wearing a reflective suit. He had beady, wide-set eyes and a large, creepy grin. The grinning man walked up to Woodrow and began to ask him questions telepathically. He asked about the area and the people.
Oh, that's just... And you think a double chin is bad. My goodness. What the frig? That's like 6 different chins.
People that lived nearby, and told Woodrow that his name was Indrid Cold. He thanked Woodrow for his answers and then left. December 1966 was a particularly traumatic month for the Lilly family. Suddenly, and for no apparent reason, poltergeist activity had begun to manifest in their home. Much of the activity seemed to centre around their youngest daughter, Linda.
This can't be good.
It was the middle of the night on the 14th of December when Linda ran, terrified and screaming, into her parents' bedroom. She said that a clicking sound had awoken her, so she sat up in bed and there was a horrifying figure standing at the bottom of the bed.
Oh my goodness, this is creepy. I don't like this. I don't like it. I don't like it. And Top 5 makes fantastic freaky videos.
Watching her. She said she had tried to scream.
Yeah! Just what I was saying, it was so creepy. You can't show this image and expect me not to laugh. It's not really creepy. It looks like Thanos, but with a little bit too much plastic surgery.
But that no sound would come out of her mouth, and there was a big man standing there, grinning at her. He walked around the bed and stood over Linda, the ever-present grin fixed on his face as he stared down at her. Terrified Linda hid under the covers. When she finally plucked up enough courage to peep out, the grinning man was gone. And then, just as abruptly as it had started, the poltergeist activity stopped. The Lilly family never experienced anything unusual again.
Thanos snapped and then disappeared.
This encounter happened just 2 weeks before the Mothman sightings began in nearby Point Pleasant.
Mothman
And many have
sightings?
wondered whether there could be a connection between the incidents. In November 1972, Alan McRae and his wife, Mary Elizabeth.
See, this could be a real story based off of truth by the fact that you're entwining it into stuff that actually happened. Like the Mothman stuff actually happened. Like when I looked up on Google, I couldn't find any information regarding the Grinning Man. But, you know, tying it in with the Mothman gives it more legitimacy.
Lived in a very comfortable, happy life in the small village of Dunkeld in Scotland. At 9 PM, as was their usual routine, Mary and Alan retired to bed. Mary closed the curtains and they settled down to read for an hour before they turned out the lights and settled down to sleep.
That's creepy. Why do you have a little door like that? What is that? What is that? Why is it like so high up from the ground? Are you missing a staircase or something right here? Getting in and getting out of there is gonna be very dangerous.
Mary awoke in the early hours of the morning. She was laying on her front, struggling to breathe, and although she could open her eyes, she could not move or speak. She could hear a constant clicking sound that grew louder and louder until it became so loud that it was hurting her eardrums. Looking towards the window, she could see that the curtains were now open, and she could see a tiny movement out of the corner of her eye. There in the bottom left corner of the...
Oh my goodness, you gotta be kidding me. That sound effect there, that boom sound effect, that kind of like jump scared me.
The window pane, she saw a face staring at her with its dark, beady eyes. All the while, the face wore a fixed, malevolent grin. Horrified, Mary tried to scream. "Somebody help me, please!" But as desperately as she tried, she found herself transfixed by the grinning man's stare, unable to make a noise or look away. Eventually, after what seemed like hours to Mary, she blacked out. The next morning, Mary awoke, suffering from the most sickening headache that took over a week to finally dissipate. Mary died at the ripe old age of 94 in 2013.
See, is this real? Because it sounds real. I don't know.
She would often tell the story of her night of terror with the grinning man.
Wait, so he just stares at you and grins? That's it? Because, I mean, for all the people who have seen him and whatnot, he doesn't, like, you know, clat them. He just, like, looks at them. That's it. I guess he's not that dangerous.
A night she could never forget. Help me! In 1987, a family vacation ended in terror. On their way back from their break to San Francisco, a family of 4 decided to go along Scenic Highway 101 so they could drive alongside the ocean as they travelled home. That night, they saw a huge green ball of light in the sky that appeared to follow their car down the highway. They were not scared, but were fascinated and excited by the lights.
How were they not a little bit concerned about it? Like just a little bit concerned or worried?
They arrived home, and the light just flew off into the sky and disappeared. The next day,
That would freak me out. Also, that's pretty creepy.
the 2 teenagers were sitting on their porch when they saw a man staring at them from across the street. He was dressed in a black suit and had the scariest looking grin on his face.
That's not across the street.
Horrified, and the girl ran into the house to tell her father. But when he came outside to look for the man, he had gone. So be aware, you could be next. Is he watching you from
This image is so terrifying.
afar, hidden in the shadows? Maybe from the corner of your street when you walk home alone at night, or from over the fence behind your house, just waiting for you to turn out the lights.
It is creepy. This is really creepy. But it doesn't sound as if he, like... It just sounds as if he looks at you and stares and smiles. But he doesn't, like, you know, at you or anything. He seems like a pervert, you know, like a peeping Tom kind of, more than anything. Anyway, I hope you guys like this video. Man, Top 5s knows how to make a creepy video. Because this was freaking creepy. And I do not feel okay. But if you guys like this, make sure you give it a thumbs up, possibly share with a friend. If you're new, subscribe to the family. Also, make sure you guys go subscribe to Top 5s. That link's in the description. I'll see you guys next time. Boop!